Good afternoon. Today's class is class number 7, and the theme of this lesson plan is prepositions of place. I designed this lesson plan for freshmen. The length of this class will be 45 minutes, and the proficiency level for this lesson plan is A1. The class objectives are listening. Students will be able to identify where the objects are placed or direct. For speaking, students will be able to talk about things located in different places. For reading, students will be able to scan contexts in which prepositions of place are used. And for writing, students will use prepositions of place to write a short story. The methodology and strategies that I use for this lesson plan are communicative language, audiolingual method, and total physical response. The strategies are whole class work, where they will be using a PowerPoint, some pictures, and a conversation between students. Pair work, they will be reading aloud, they will be completing worksheets, and some acting out activities. Okay, so I will start off the class by presenting the prepositions of place. I will present different objects in different positions, and I will be telling the prepositions for certain objects. So the main teaching input, the warm-up activity, I will show different objects in different positions, and students will interpret their positions. After this, I will show a PowerPoint presentation about the prepositions of place, where they will be able to see different pictures and information. Okay, I will explain the different positions of objects, and students will have to give the correct preposition for certain objects. Students will answer questions given by the teacher related to preposition of place. I will give them a worksheet where they will practice. The worksheet will have some pictures on it, and they will have to select from a list which preposition will be the correct. I will be walking around, checking on students' understanding, and assisting other students if they need some help. I will ask my students to work in groups and present different uses of the prepositions with real objects. Students will take turns and read aloud the comments while the other students will act out the prepositions. I will be monitoring the class all the time and correcting mispronunciations. The students will have a guided practice where they will be working in small groups. They will take turns. They will be reading aloud the prepositions of place and will represent to show their peers the correct meaning of the words. For the independent practice, students will work in a map of a town where they will have to tell where the different items are. For example, where the post office is located. So they may have to say the post office is located behind the the museum or next to the school. So they have to use the correct preposition of place. The assessment, students are given a reading where they will have to identify the prepositions of place and correct if they are wrong. I will conclude the class by reviewing the topic briefly, and for homework students will have to present their reading correct. So I think this topic is very important. It's a important part of the English language and will help students to create more complex sentences. Um, it's something that I would like to change about this lesson is that I would like to introduce. I had to introduce many words at the same time, and and sometimes students get confused when this happens. Okay, so for this lesson plan I designed two supplementary material where students will be able to reinforce what they learn in that class. So the worksheets that I designed for them are they have to complete sentences using the correct words. So I try to split it into different different exercises. In one worksheet they will be working with certain type of words, and on the other worksheet they will be using the rest of the words so they won't get confused if they have all together. So I think the use of these worksheets will help them reinforce and comprehend this topic better. Um, so these activities are very important, and I was able to make all the students participate in the in activity. I think it's a great opportunity for students to, so they can keep focus on the topic. And that will be all for this class. Thank you for your attention.